in your season right now. We are in the middle of baseball. We saw you on TV earlier. Mm-hmm. We're so thankful that you get to join us. Obviously, baseball's in the news. I texted you late last night where, I was finally thinking about, what are we going to talk about? Yeah. You know what I mean? Because this is a long time. Didn't think we were going to be able to get through the first hour. We did. Shout out to Dahn Orshlovsky.
There we go, Dahn.
But as I was scanning the interwebs about sports, baseball is in it yet again. And once again, it is not necessarily about the game of baseball. It is about the stuff surrounding baseball. This particular case, a shot clock was the deciding factor of a game, Jet. What type of amateur bullshit are you guys running in the MLB? What is going on in baseball? Do the purists hate it? Do the purists love it? And is it better for baseball as a whole, Jeff Passan?
I will answer the last question first. Yes, it's 100% better for baseball as a whole. And here's why, Pat. I think a big problem that baseball has had, frankly, with our generation and with fans from, 12 to 40 years old, is that the games take 3+ hours every single night. When you look at going to a movie on a Friday or Saturday night, do you look for the runtime beforehand? And if so, when it says 3+ hours, are you immediately like, no, not doing
Yes.
that?
Bingo.
Well, except for Avatar. I left 2 hours and 10 minutes in. But I did sign up to watch it. You know what I mean? But you're right. I think, especially in the world that we're in of scrolling, people are looking at the time of something before they're even giving a thought of whether or not they'd be interested. I think it's a smart idea.
So let me go back to last year in Major League Baseball. The average game time last year was 3 hours, 7 minutes. But at the same time, it's not okay. And at the same time, in the minor leagues, they were testing out this pitch clock. So the way the pitch clock works, if there are no runners on base, you got to throw the ball within 15 seconds. If there are runners on base, you have 20 seconds to throw it. Batter needs to be in the box and ready, set to go with 8 seconds left. They implemented these rules in the minor leagues last year, and they cut 25 minutes off of game times. Now, you think, it's just the minor leagues. It's not going to be able to be replicated at the big league level. Well, it's only been 3 days of Major League spring training so far, but the average spring training game last year was 3 hours and 1 minute. The average game so far this year has been 2 hours, 38 minutes.
Hell yeah.
53 minutes like that off of it. And when you take this and put it in concert with some other rules they have in place, defensive shifts have been banned and the bases have gotten bigger, which cuts down the space between them, which makes stolen bases more likely. And there are fewer pickoff moves, so runners are going to be more apt to go. All of these are with two things in mind. Number one, you cut down the time of the game because it's too damn long for people. And number two, you have a better paced game with more action.
Exciting.
Major League Baseball last year had almost 4 minutes between batted ball events. This is going to lead to more balls being put in play, more action, and showcasing these incredible athletes who are playing today. Say what you will about baseball, the game itself. The players who are playing are absolutely phenomenal. And seeing them showcase their skills even more often and more frequently, it's great for the game.
More stealing, more bats.
What?
Shorter games.
What?
And being able to gamble on every pitch. Sure. Sounds like we might be getting into a prime time for baseball. I know somebody that's excited to ask you a question. Gumpy, what do you got for Jet?
Well. Good afternoon, Jet.
You old bastard. God, your beard's even whiter than it was. I suppose that's what happens when you're an international fugitive.
Oh, whoa. Might be getting that handled. You have a question for him, Gump?
Yeah, Jet, we've heard a lot about the clock. Has there been any issues with the shift at all?
No, not really. I mean, look, it's very simple. You got to have two fielders on each side of the second base bag. Now, against left-handed pull hitters, the shortstop is going to be moving over pretty close to the bag. But if he's on the wrong side of it, they can either be called by the umpire or can review it in replay. You can't review the pitch clock, stuff like that. Someone better not be throwing you a damn pitch, Pat.
No.
They're not going to do that today. Don't even try to sneak that shit by me, man. Come on. Oh, come on!
Make contact.
Yeah.
You still got to be vaccinated to play in Toronto, Jet?
Good question. Valid.
I think that's done. So we're gonna see everyone up there.
What about the
shift,
masks?
I think actually it's nice. I was talking with a few left-handed hitters because
me.
those are the guys who really got robbed by the shift. The third baseman would move Pat McAfee.
We're playing baseball,
son
Jet.
of a bitch. Unbelievable.
Oh!
That's right up the front.
Oh, it's in the gap.
It's in the gap.
Turn two.
Sorry about Jet.
Get two.
We have more room for baseball activities. Sorry. I mean, how are we not supposed to do it?
I mean, the reality is, Gumpy, this is like right up your alley. You like singles, right?
Lay the bunt down, dude. Lay the bunt down. Put the ball in play. Move the boys around, Jet.
Jeez.
I wasn't talking about singles like that. But anyway,
Oh!
Craft singles.
there are absolutely going to be more singles, balls that land in right field, balls hit up the middle. Honestly, guys, what this is, it's a return to 1970s and 1980s baseball. And I think Major League Baseball has been – Pat?
Sorry about it. I didn't even know we're playing baseball.
No, you're not.
Oh!
Let's go.
Crack of the bat. Bruce, good pitch, pal.
Good one. Great one.
Sorry about it. Once you get the bat in hand, once you feel that pine, you know what I mean? Once you start feeling the lumber, baseball's a good sport. If we get more of that, it's good news.
And that's exactly what Major League Baseball is hoping for. And I think the good thing here is that players actually seem committed to this. Like Aaron Judge, the American League MVP, said, I think the pitch clock is going to be good for baseball. You talk with managers, and they're like, I hope the umpires enforce it like they did in that Braves-Red Sox game where you saw we can call it a clock off because the game ended because of the pitch clock violation. Like, that's a good thing because guys understand now. They've tried to put pace of play rules in place in the past, and hitters just ignored them, and umpires didn't enforce it. This is going to not be ignored and going to be extremely enforced, and it's going to be a net positive, I think, in the end.
Gumpy, we appreciate you. We got great news. You know about it.
Yeah.
See you soon, Gumpy.
There we go.
Ty has a question for you, Jet.
Yeah, Jet, I think it was Max Scherzer who said either this morning or yesterday that he likes the pitch clock because guys like him can really dictate the game and do you think that for these power pitchers, these actual aces, it gives them even more of a benefit than it had previously? And also, mid-season around the All-Star break, you think we're actually going to be seeing games that are 2.5 hours, or do you think it's going to kind of revert to the mean and we're still going to be getting games that are around 3 hours long?
I was worried about that, Ty, but if you go and look at what happened in the minor leagues last year, it was consistent across the board that the games were about 2 hours, I think, in 36 minutes. And that didn't change. In fact, after the sixth week of the rules being in place, it was down to half a violation per game. So that's one every 2 games by all of the teams involved. I mean, there have been about 2 violations per game so far, and that's normal. That's expected. They're getting used to it. As for Max Scherzer loves mind games, and he loves strategy. And one of the beauties of baseball to me is that it's just an endless canvas of strategic elements. And while you're taking one away with the shift, you're bringing one in with how the pitchers dictate timing. And Max Scherzer was talking about how if a batter needs to be set at the 8-second mark, he's ready to throw the ball then. And when a guy looks up at him, he's going to start his delivery right then. But maybe on another pitch, he waits, he pauses, he takes those extra 7 seconds. And while he wasn't a fan of the clock and its implementation to begin with, I think he understands that, hey, I'm going to take advantage of it every way I can. Now, the interesting part with power pitchers, guys, because they've taken more time in between pitches, have conditioned themselves to throw a ball every 22, 23 seconds. You get those extra 7, 8 seconds of rest in between, you're probably going to be able to, go a little bit deeper into games. So I'm very curious to see how players condition themselves to deal with having this much more rapid pace. And if it means, hey, maybe I take a little bit of mustard off my fastball here in order to go deeper into games. If that happens, the pitches might not be of the same quality. More balls might be in play. More action might happen. Pitchers might go deeper into games. I mean, all of this leads to a better brand of baseball, and I think that's what all fans are hoping for.
You've been on board about this since the beginning when the idea was pitched and everything, or did you have to see it first?
No. I thought a pitch clock was honestly a terrible idea because baseball is the only game without a clock. And then I watched a minor league game last year, and the first time I saw it, I was like, holy shit, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, this is the way baseball's supposed to be played. I mean, I have a kid who plays baseball, and they don't stand around on the mound picking at their fingernails. They don't step out of the batter's box, during an at bat and fix their gloves. They go in there, they catch the ball, they wind up, and they throw it. And the pace of youth games is great. To take that and to add it to the quality of the big league players, it's the idealized version of baseball for me.
What are we doing with the spider shit? Are we still the what's it called?
Spider tack.
Are we still,
Yeah, I mean it's
are we
it's
still
baseball.
doing
There's
full-
always going to be there's always going to be cheating in baseball. There's going to be increased enforcement by umpires. Allegedly, which I know is an important word on this show this year.
more than you know. Well, you do know. Yeah, you do.
There's supposed to be increased enforcement, and if you look at the spin rates on pitches since that early enforcement date, they've gone back up, which would lead you to believe that, hey, there's probably sticky stuff coming back into the game. But is it as extreme as it was back then? No.
Are they keystering it? How are they?
Poop tack.
Because they're getting checked. What? Gloves getting checked.
Yep.
Hands getting checked. Hats getting checked. Ears are getting checked.
Yep.
So guys have just figured out where to put it. Is that that's what's happened? They've kind of been able to one up.
Oh
them?
yeah, I mean it can
False
it
bottom
can be on
like
the
George
belt
Young?
buckle.
Oh,
It can,
nice.
Yeah, it can be on the inside of the pants. It can be inside sort of the heel of the glove.
Belly button.
Guys put it in their hair. I mean,
Readjust the cup.
Connor, if he were pitching, would reach behind.
Yeah,
No, 'cause
keister.
you're-
Yeah, absolutely keister.
It slipped right out. I couldn't use it then.
Oh, poop ball.
Sticky stuff.
A man who once was the starting catcher for the number 20 team in the country.
Holy shit.
Tone Diggs has a question for you, Jet.
A team did get 10 run in the first round of playoffs. It was a disaster.
They were riding high, though, boy. I mean,
yeah.
these dudes ranked 20th in the country.
Good year.
You should have seen them walking through the hallways.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the baseball team. Hey, best in the country. Wait, hey, boys. Hey, thank you, boys. There you go, boys.
Put us on the map.
And big playoffs.
Baseball.
first round of playoffs. These boys are about to go to state. These boys are going to win state. Came back into school the next day. How'd the game go, boys? It ended early. Somebody get hurt? We got 10 runs.
What?
Thought we were 20th in the country. What the fuck
who's
happened,
pitching?
boys?
Baseball will humble you quickly.
It will. It's great
will.
sport. It's great sport. And that pitcher he's pitching in a rapid rate, but the ball I don't think was coming out as fast that particular day.
Pitcher is a good man.
He is a great man. We love that man.
Not a good pitcher, though.
He was throwing BP in the playoffs, I guess. Allegedly, that's what they say about him. A good man, still a good man. Anyways, 20th in the country, starting catcher. Tone Diggs has a question.
Jet, we know that no other refereeing crew more than umpires in the MLB love to make it about themselves. Have you seen any umps that are going to absolutely love ninth inning? Like, I'm going to make this call. This guy didn't get it into the batter's box quick enough, and then we're going to get some fireworks with managers, correct?
No doubt about it. The important thing here to note, though, in order for this to succeed, umpires need to play an integral role. Like, they're the ones whose eyes
like
have
that.
to be on the clock, though. Here's the thing. They're wearing buzzers where if the
Like
pitch
the
clock goes
Astros?
off,
Well.
eh,
They never wore them. Remember, Jet?
Oh, they did.
They did not. Jet said all the reporting in research, no buzzers were ever on the
Okay.
Astros. Right, Jet?
correct.
Okay. Buzzers
I
on
mean,
Elm.
Ty, you really want to believe that, don't you?
No, you were the one who said that Altuve had the exoskeleton.
Allegedly.
Fucking Terminator. Yeah,
Allegedly.
you
You're
did.
gonna get sued. That's
You
defamation.
did.
If I know it, that's defamation.
I didn't
For
say
him.
it. Jet said it. Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, Jet.
No, I'm over that. Astros are they own the Yankees. Not this year, but they have in the years past.
Very good.
But the umps,
How do
a
you
bigger
think the
role.
Yankees, Ty, are you feeling good about the Yankees this year?
Feel great. Feel absolutely great.
Thanks for asking.
Yep. Why wouldn't you?
The Mets, $200 million
No,
luxury
yeah.
tax in
Yeah.
the same time.
Not worried about the Mets.
Red Sox are balling right now, too.
Oh, the Cubs spent a lot of
Oh.
money, too. The Cubs have every single player that has ever really been on this show on their team right now.
Yeah.
We love that team. We love the
Yeah,
Cubs.
if
the
they're lucky,
Buccos.
they might finish third or maybe fourth in the NL Central.
Oh, come
Behind
on.
the Buccos.
I don't even know what that means, but I know it's rude.
Bucco's got Kutch back, baby.
Holy
Thank you
shit.
I saw Machoy signed for 15 years, $400 million or something
Yep.
like that. That's
Yeah.
good. That's a Jet Passan news break.
Yeah, it was a lot of money.
Endeavors.
What's wrong, Jet? We say something that you didn't like?
Yeah, what's going on?
What's going on? Do we offend
No,
baseball?
here's the problem. There are 10 people in there, and I don't want to trample over anybody. And
Jet, you're our
everyone's
guest.
got good. Everyone's got good
Oh,
baseball takes.
Jet, you're a guest, Jet.
Scramble the Jets, Jet.
Jet, you're the guy.
Trample.
Fucking, you know, take that thing off,
Fucking
Jet.
target acquired.
Airstrike.
You're on the
Jet.
runway, Jet. Fucking go.
Ah,
Pat, do you care about Manny Machado signing a deal?
No.
It's a big deal.
I saw you tweet it
No, I
though.
didn't think so.
I saw you tweet it though, and I knew it was a big deal because did Judge sign? What did Judge sign for?
Yeah, what was it? 360.
360.
Yeah,
He
360.
got 360. Machado. Actually, Pat, you know what? I can bring this back to a football audience, I think, in a way that is very compelling.
Now we're playing baseball.
Because the San Diego Padres have one of the smallest media markets in all of baseball. And unlike the NFL, where all the money is distributed evenly, local television revenue makes all the difference in the world in Major League Baseball. And the Padres, comparatively,
Yeah.
don't have a lot of local television.
Hey, didn't they go bankrupt? Right, all the local.
It was
Yeah,
It was
Oh, yeah,
50%, right?
It's gonna be a disaster. But what the Padres have done, Peter Seidler bought the Padres in 2012
Sides?
for $800 million. They're probably worth $2 billion and change these days.
sides.
And the appreciation of franchise values in sports, I think, is an important story that's not talked about enough. Like, people who are already rich are getting way richer on the back of sport. And yet in baseball, the idea that year over year you have a payroll that either helps you break even or make a slight profit or even a big profit, that's normal there. So if you're losing money year over year, that is frowned upon by baseball owners. Well, what the San Diego Padres have done is taken a small portion of their franchise and sold it essentially to get cash that they're reinvesting into their team.
Smart.
The idea of an owner going out and leveraging the assets that he has in order to build a winning ball club, in order to make his brand bigger, better, associated with winning. It's like a novel concept.
More
in baseball.
value.
And the fact that you're seeing, listen, you win more, you're going to be more valuable.
What?
The most valuable franchise in the NBA is not the Los Angeles Lakers. It's not the New York Knicks. It's not the Boston Celtics. It's the Golden State Warriors. And why? Because they win, Pat.
Yeah.
And because that is their brand now. And the San Diego Padres are trying to become the Golden State Warriors of baseball.
Slam Diego. They changed the game a little bit. They were
Yep.
hitting dingers, right? They were an explosive brand of baseball.
Yeah.
They were winning. I never understand how these owners are billionaires because unless you just came from a billionaire family and you got handed $1 billion, which has happened. It's not great. Those people mostly suck, but it's not their fault either that they were born in a $1 billion family. These billionaires, seemingly good business people, but then when they get a business that could be worth more, they refuse to zoom out and be like, oh, how can I make this thing exponentially worth more money? Oh, invest in it. And it's like this.
Bingo.
It always comes back to this. Is that guy selling the Pirates or what? When's that happening, you think? When's that guy?
Yeah,
There's a big clap from the back right there. Okay, shout out.
He sold 7 springs, so fucking hey, let's go.
Hey,
sell Pirates.
he's on a selling spree.
Ooh, that's
Let's get this
bad.
guy out of here. Here he is.
Here's you know what though, Pat? It's interesting because I think more now than ever.
Jet.
I think there is pressure from fans on ownership because I think fans have noticed that the most causative element, or at least most correlated element to winning, is not how good your players are. It's not how good your general manager is. It's not how good your scouts are. How good is your owner? How willing to invest in this team is your owner? How willing to invest in the fans is the owner? And if you're not willing to invest, what the hell are you doing?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
If winning a championship is not your top priority, your only priority
What are you
as
doing?
an owner in professional sports, then leave for someone else who wants to.
Get out.
Man.
Like that baseball.
You know what should happen? You, Mario, Billy Gardell,
Mark
Cubester.
Madden,
Cubes,
Mark Caboli.
Caboli,
Yep.
Matt,
The guy who made Permanis.
Well, turns out the Permane bros.
You got rich friends, Pat.
Joe Manganiello.
I don't.
You guys all
don't.
go
Keaton.
in together.
I don't call
I mean,
Rich.
as long
Rudy
as Favre
from
doesn't
Rudy
take all your
Subs.
money.
Well, his guy said he's going bankrupt me. You heard that? He said if he has learned his lesson. If he ends up getting bankrupt me, I mean, I'm 35. I got a family. My wife's pregnant.
What the hell's going on?
What's the deal? Trying
Calm
to bankrupt
down.
me?
Well, we know that they.
Nope, can't do it.
Yeah. Now is not the time.
Nope.
Trust me, I thought about it.
Hey, Jet. It's crossed. It's very convenient how
Donner
it's
was
all.
about to shit himself again there.
Actually.
Yeah, all over himself. Jet, we appreciate you, buddy. I'm watching a baseball game right now. The Mets are up 2-0. Are they going to be good? Like Cohen spending all this money, $200 million in luxury tax, that's going to pay off?
They're going to be really good. I don't know if that. Listen, it's baseball, so you can get to October and one bad series can torpedo your whole season. But if the Mets aren't one of the 2 or 3 best teams in baseball this year, I'll be surprised.
Yeah, Jet, is Ohtani. I saw you tweet earlier, by the way. Your Twitter's amazing. And you said, because Devers and Machado just signed, there's really not many hitters in next, free agency next season. Is Ohtani going to get like a Mahomes 10-year, $500 million deal because he can pitch and also hit, or what's that looking like?
Is he still doing that, too?
Yeah, still doing that. I mean, he would have won back-to-back MVPs last year if Aaron Judge didn't have a historic season. And, Connor, the comp with Mahomes is spot on. If Shohei Ohtani goes out this year and puts up numbers like he has the last 2 seasons, the number is going to start at $500 million and only go up from there. And when you've got the Dodgers in, and when you've got Steve Cohen and the New York Mets in, and the Seattle Mariners and the San Diego Padres and the Angels trying to keep him around, the Chicago Cubs, and it's an absurd player and an absurd amount of money that, frankly, he will have earned.
Ty said there's no chance he goes to Seattle. You don't like Ken Griffey or
Ichiro.
Ichiro?
I love Ichiro.
A-Rod.
He's not going to Seattle. He wants to win. And I know
Randy
that they're
Johnson.
the hot upstarts. Jet, the Yankees will offer him $1 billion.
Red Sox.
So will the Mets.
Red
You
Sox.
know it.
There's
Sorry. Steinbrenner's
the
in
Mets,
grave.
maybe, not the Yankees.
They will.
The Red Sox will.
They'll do whatever they have to.
How does it feel to have the little sister of spending in New York baseball?
Jet, do not be naive, okay? The fucking Mets choked last year in the playoffs. You know they did. No, if you're a Yankee fan, you don't give a fuck about that, okay? They can have Verlander. That's great. They got beat in the wild card last year, so until they fucking can maybe make it past the first round, they can play the fucking trumpet all against the Marlins.
Well, Timmy
all
was
they
out there.
want.
Yeah, he was playing.
Jerry Seinfeld's not
Ty,
happy.
you got swept in the ALCS last year, so don't be
I
No
agree.
trumpets.
And what do we do? You went out and you got the best. I mean, outside of Verlander, who the Mets did get, you got the best fucking.
The Mets got the best guy?
Starting pitcher on the market, and the
They
best
did lose.
player.
They lost to Grom.
They did. Who's pretty
I
good
love
as well.
it when he makes my point.
Oh, gee, he said you're arguing for him.
No, I didn't. Rodon, he's not any good.
Huh?
He's very good.
Rodon.
Yeah, exactly.
Andrew McCutcheon, he's not any good.
Huh? Pittsburgh Buccos, huh?
What, the guy the Red Sox got from overseas, he's no good?
Well, the Red Sox stink. Sorry.
They
about
do.
it.
This guy likes pizza though, so he might
Bingo.
be.
He's a dog.
All right, let's get out of here, Jeff.